For simplicity, we'll say it's stock, but it could be an ETF, it could be an index fund. But let's go ahead and stick with stock right now because it's the easiest, I think, for people to understand. An option buyer, if they're purchasing a call, they have the right to buy the stock at the strike price until expiration. That strike price, if you remember from last week, is the price at which a buyer will exercise their right and pay that strike price, typically times 100. So a $50 call option, let's say, would represent a $5,000, 50 times 100, a $5,000 exercise value. In return for that exercise value, they receive 100 shares of stock, typically, assuming it's a standard option. So if that's the case, they pay $5,000 to receive 100 shares of stock. They're paying $50 per share. So a lot of people look at the strike price as the price per share upon which you have that right, in the case of a call, to buy that stock. For a put, it would be you've got the right to sell that stock at that $50 strike price. And this right continues through expiration. So from the day you trade that contract until it expires, as a buyer, you have that right, assuming we're talking American style options. Again, remember that was one of the terms that we covered last week. American style option versus European style. It's got nothing to do with geography. American style says that you can exercise your right at any time. Conversely, it also means that as a seller, you are obligated to fulfill that contract at any time upon assignment. A European style contract can only be exercised and therefore only assigned on expiration day. And if you remember, we talked about that's one of the reasons that institutional firms like trading or are attracted to trading indices, because most indices are European style. So again, an option buyer has the right, but not the obligation to buy or sell the security at their strike price up until expiration. They are in control. They are in the driver's seat. The buyer is, as to what happens, whether they want to exercise. Obviously, you can turn around and close that option. You could sell that option to close. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. Those are all rights that the buyer has. They also, as a buyer, they have limited risk exposure. One of the reasons that investors like buying options is because they know that they cannot lose any more than they put into it. So if I'm paying $3 for an option, whether it's a call or a put is irrelevant. If I'm paying $3, I cannot lose more than that on my option trade. There are no margin requirements when it comes to options. Now, margin with options is different than margin with stock. On stock, you can buy, say, 100 shares of stock and pay for 50 of those shares and borrow money from your broker, or borrow the other 50 shares. But you can borrow from your broker to either pay for the other 50 shares or just borrow 50 shares from them. But the idea is that you don't need to pay 100% for all of the shares you're purchasing with stock. You can buy the other half on margin. Options, that is not at all how it works.